A pleasant, good Saturday afternoon to all of you. Welcome to Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium at Lynn Control Park, nestled in the heart of the North Georgia Mountains at UNG. We've got doubleheader Peach Belt Conference softball for you today. It's the last series of the regular season for the number 2 in the nation, North Georgia Nighthawks, as they take on the visiting Bearcats from Lander University in a matchup between two of the top 3 teams in the Peach Belt Conference. And hello, everyone. Robert Eaglemenny here alongside Bailey Vessel and the rest of the Nighthawk Sports Network crew. We're glad you've decided to join us today. The Nighthawks closing out what's been an absolutely dominant regular season, riding high on a 5-game winning streak, most recently getting the double-header sweep on the road against Lincoln Memorial this past Wednesday. The Nighthawks dominating, outscoring the Rail Splitters 22-1 over those 2 games. On the mound, Kristen Davis securing the shutout in Game 1, and the Peach Belt Conference Pitcher of the Week, Tybee Denton, earning the win in Game 2, combining with Sophie Mooney, holding Lincoln Memorial to just 1 run. And Bailey, with the Nighthawks sitting at 46-4, this is a team looking to make a lot of noise next week in the Peach Belt Conference Championship.
Yeah, this is definitely a team that can win the Peach Belt. They've won it many years with Coach Davenport, so they're looking to continue that success here this year.
And with a matchup between 2 of the best teams in the Peach Belt, we should be in for a fantastic weekend of softball here at the Hill. Again, we are glad you've decided to join us today as we are already underway here in Dahlonega. Kristen Davis getting the start on the mound for the Nighthawks. And the count's going to be 1-1 for Say Jones, who leads things off here in the batting order for Lander. As she sees a ball go past her there, the count's going to be 2-1. Here's who head coach Glenn Crawford has etched into his batting order. As we just mentioned, Say Jones going to lead things off, followed by Gracie Derrick, Abby Behe, Barbara Cook in the cleanup spot, then Emily Allen, Logan Coward, Shannon Antonini, as great play is made there from Gracie Mixon for the first out here in the top of the first. And then it's going to be number 21, Riley O'Mahan, and then Kanaya Jones rounding out the batting order for Lander. And so now Gracie Derrick up to bat against Kristen Davis. Davis with a strike right down the middle. 0-1 count for Derrick. And the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss there. Quick 0-2 count for Derrick. Davis this year with a 2.60 ERA. She's pitched 83 innings for the Nighthawks. She's allowed just 45 hits, 26 runs, 24 of those runs earned. She struck out 103 batters this year.
She's had a fantastic season. She leads the Peach Belt in opposing batting average at .157, so she's a great arm to have in the circle to start this game in this series.
Absolutely. Hits come few and far between when she is on the mound, and the count's now 1-2 for Derrick. Derrick's got a .350 batting average this year. Comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be called ball number 2, 2-2 count. As we mentioned, Derrick with that .350 batting average. She's got 14 RBIs, 42 hits this year. And that one's popped up high into center field, and a routine play there for the Nighthawks and Sydney Blair, giving us 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Number 8, Abby Behe.
And now Abby Behe stepping up into the batter's box for the Bearcats. Behe this season, a .398 batting average. She sees a strike go by her there, 0-1. This is her 129th appearance at the plate. She's seen the plate the most times for the Bearcats this season. She's got 51 hits, 35 RBIs, but she's not going to get a chance to add to her hit total there. That pitch is going to hit her, so she's going to move to first base.
Number 29, Barbara Cook.
Now Barbara Cook up to bat for the Bearcats. Nighthawks missing out, getting that quick 3 up, 3 down, as that one's going to be popped up into center field. Blair makes the play, fielding it there, but that's going to advance Behe to second, as the Bearcats get the first hit of the afternoon here at the Hill, courtesy of Cook.
I know it feels good for the Bearcats to get something going against Davis here early. Got 2 runners on, a chance to score here with Allen coming up to the plate.
And so now Emily Allen, she's got the highest batting average on this team, 404 this season. She sees a strike right down the middle inside the zone, 0-1.
Her 404 batting average is 9th best in the Peach Belt this season.
She sees a ball there. Count's going to be 1-1. Allen also with 38 hits this year, 31 RBIs. She's got 3 home runs as well. And the 1-1 pitch going to be low for ball number 2. Count moves to 2-1 for Emily Allen. And the 2-1 pitch. That one's going to be popped up over to the short, and the throw over to first is going to get there on time as the shortstop, Maddie Perry, makes the play. Throw to first, giving us 3 outs here in the top of the first. And so that's going to take us to the bottom of the first. North Georgia looks to strike first in this one. When we come back, you're watching North Georgia softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Back with you here at the Hill, where Jolie Lester is going to lead things off for North Georgia here in the bottom of the first. As Lester sees a strike go by her there on Taylor Scott's first pitch of the afternoon. Count's going to be 0-1 for Lester. She pops this one up back towards the net, fouled, 0-2. Here's who head coach Mike Davenport has etched in to his batting order. Jolie Lester leading things off for the Nighthawks, as always, followed by Maddie Perry, Sophie Mooney, and then Hannah Forehand in that cleanup position. Then Olivia Sinkfield, Sydney Blair, Mariah Wicker, Georgia Blair, and then Gracie Mixon going to round things out for the Nighthawks. That one's also going to be fouled behind Lester. Count staying at 0-2.
Scott is a graduate student, and she previously played at Flagler, another Peach Belt school. She comes in today with a 2.7 ERA. She has 15 wins on the season and 4 losses. Definitely going to be a tough outing for these Nighthawks batters.
Absolutely. Lots of experience on the mound, as you mentioned, coming from Flagler. So she's definitely seen North Georgia and the Nighthawks plenty of times throughout her collegiate career, with another Peach Belt school here in Lander. Lester battling here. Another foul ball. Counts 0-2 still. Another foul ball over the Bearcats bullpen. The sophomore out of Fayetteville, Georgia, battling here. Still 0-2.
She leads the Peach Belt in at-bats with 164. She has 63 hits on the year, so definitely a great leader for the Nighthawks at the top of this lineup.
And she finally gets one down in left field. Jolie Lester winning that battle with Scott. Nighthawks off to a good start, getting a hit out of their leadoff batter in Jolie Lester, and now Maddie Perry up to bat for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, that was a great at-bat by Lester. Battled off a lot of pitches, was 0-2 the whole count, and then finally found her pitch and was able to drive it opposite field to reach base for the Nighthawks with 0 outs.
So now with Maddie Perry stepping up to bat for the Nighthawks, she's got a .378 batting average this year. This is her 136th appearance at the plate. Bunts here up the left field line. The throw to first is going to get there on time, but that sac bunt from Maddie Perry, advancing Jolie Lester to second. Great unselfish play there. Now with the Swiss Army knife, Sophie Mooney stepping up to bat for the Nighthawks. And Mooney has been terrific this season, a transfer out of Georgia State, whether she's been in the circle for the Nighthawks, at the plate batting, or sometimes even inserted over at first base. She's been overly successful for North Georgia this season. It's been a great addition to this squad.
Yeah, definitely a great pickup for Coach Davenport, and she leads the categories in hitting in Peach Belt, also in pitching, so definitely a great tool to have.
And she pops this one up into right field, gets down, and Lester's going to stop in her tracks. Mooney in a pickle here between first and second, but Lester's going to slide in to home plate. And Mooney's also going to be safe at first. A great play there for the Nighthawks, and they strike first in this one. They get on the board, go up 1-0 early against the Bearcats.
Yeah, great aggressive base running. She forces an error there, and Lester's able to score. I know Coach Davenport loves that. He's very aggressive on the base pass and likes to cause havoc on the defense.
We've seen Mooney a few times this year in a couple of pickles and sticky situations where she's in between bases, but she always seems to come out on top in those, and she definitely came out on top there. Was able to score Lester in the process. Now with Hannah Forehand up to bat, she's in the cleanup slot for North Georgia, as she has been this whole season. One of the heavy hitters on this Nighthawk squad. Count's going to be 1-1.
She leads the Peach Belt in RBIs with 58.
Forehand showing bunt here, pulls back, pops this one up, fouled, hits the net, almost goes over, and gets to the Steiner. Will not. Count's going to be 1-2 for Hannah Forehand. We've got some great weather here in Dahlonega as well. 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be grounded over into right field as Hannah Forehand is able to advance Mooney to third, and so now runners are going to be on the corners for the Nighthawks. And Forehand sneaking her way over to second in the process. And it looks like the Bearcats are going to talk it over here. Nighthawks have been on fire to open up this game.
Yeah, that was a great piece of hitting by Forehand, but the right fielder, Allen, bobbled the ball, so Mooney was able to advance to third. And then again, Forehand had some aggressive base running, which was able to advance her to second. So I'm sure the coaches wanted to settle them down a little bit and just tell them to play their game and not worry about the Nighthawks
So head coach
shenanigans.
definitely want to calm down his team here after letting up a run already for the Nighthawks. Head coach of the Bearcats, Glenn Crawford, in his 7th season as the head coach of the softball program, led his squad to an impressive 35-15 record last season. Of course, he's facing off against the legendary Coach Davenport for North Georgia, who's been the head coach for the softball program since before I was even born, with almost an absurd 800 winning percentage. Bailey, Coach Davenport has certainly been one of the main reasons for North Georgia becoming one of the premier programs in Division II softball.
Yeah, he's definitely a great coach, and he's established his coaching style here and is seeing great success here for the program and brought a lot of championships here back to North Georgia.
So now Olivia Sinkfield up to bat for the Nighthawks. And she sees a strike right down the middle. 0-1 count for Sinkfield. She's got a .306 batting average this season. This is her 135th appearance at the plate. She's got 41 hits, 42 runs, 28 RBIs, and 3 home runs this season for the Nighthawks. She swings at that one. Looks like it was just tipped. So the count's going to be 0-2. She's got runners on second and third. Forehand over there on second. Mooney over on third. And the 0-2 pitch to Sinkfield going to be low and outside of the zone. Count's moving to 1-2. As Scott gets the signal, here comes the 1-2 pitch. Now it's going to be low. Actually got a piece of Sinkfield, and so now sticky situation here for Lander. Bases are loaded with Sydney Blair up to bat for the Nighthawks.
Blair was the freshman of the week last year for the Peach Belt, and that was her second time winning the award. Definitely someone Scott doesn't want to see right here.
Now it's going to be right down the middle. Nice pitch there from Scott. 0-1. Blair currently third in the Peach Belt Conference with a .448 batting average. She's also fifth in on-base percentage and eighth in runs scored in what has been an outstanding freshman campaign for her.
Yeah, definitely have to think she's up for freshman of the year in the Peach Belt. She's had a great year. Been a great addition to this Nighthawks team.
Blair over in center field defensively for the Nighthawks. She's been leading the way for the outfield as well. 0-2 pitch to Blair. That one's just outside for a ball, 1-2. Nighthawks racking in some Peach Belt Conference weekly awards. Tybee Denton also named the Peach Belt Conference Pitcher of the Week. The 1-2 pitch to Blair, going to be just inside for strike number 3 as Scott paints that left side of the zone, giving us 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And now Mariah Wicker up to bat for North Georgia. And Wicker this season, a .357 batting average. She's got 41 hits, 41 runs as well, 34 RBIs, and 7 home runs this season.
Yeah, Wicker's got a lot of power, but she's also got a lot of speed. So anything that's in the infield, the Bearcats are going to have to be quick with to get Wicker out.
Counts 0-1 for Mariah Wicker. Comes the pitch. That one's going to be high and outside. 1-1.
This would be a huge out for Scott and the Bearcats if they're able to work out this jam with only 1 run scored here in the bottom of the first. With bases loaded.
Absolutely. With bases loaded, definitely a big matchup here. As the count's now 2-1 for Mariah Wicker. And the 2-1 pitch. That one's going off the glove of the catcher, but runners will stay put as the count moves to 3-1. And another ball here from Scott will put another run up on the board for the Nighthawks with bases loaded, and Mooney over there on third. The 3-1 pitch. That one's popped up high into shallow left field. Routine play made there for the Bearcats. So they survive the bottom of the first, allowing just one run on the board for the Nighthawks as North Georgia strikes early in this one, taking an early 1-0 lead, and that's going to take us to the second inning. You're watching North Georgia softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
With 6 locations across Northeast Georgia, Howard Brothers Outdoor Power Equipment and Hardware is trusted by both professional landscapers and residential homeowners for all their outdoor equipment needs. To learn more about the family-owned business that keeps Georgia green, visit howardbrothers.com. Bryan Properties is a commercial real estate brokerage firm serving Northeast Georgia. Located in nearby Cumming, Georgia, Bryan Properties specializes in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor. For more information on Bryan Properties, visit bryanproperties.net. The UNG bookstore is operated by Barnes & Noble and is located in the Chastity Building beside Starbucks in downtown Dahlonega. Fans and students can visit in person or online at ung.bncollege.com for all your Nighthawk apparel and textbook needs for the upcoming season.
Back with you here at the Hill, where Logan Coward is going to lead things off for the Bearcats here in the top of the second inning. Coward this year, a .282 batting average with 20 hits, or 35 hits, 20 runs, 29 RBIs. She's got 8 home runs as well, leads the Bearcats in home runs this season. And that pitch from Davis is going to be outside. It's a 1-1 count for Coward. She grounds this one near the Bearcats' dugout. Count's moving to 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch to Coward. Davis getting the strikeout there. A swing and a miss from Coward. Davis gets the home run leader for the Bearcats. Swinging and missing there.
It's a great pitch by Davis. She has a nasty changeup that a lot of hitters are unable to recognize until it's too late.
And a bunt there from Antonini. Throw to first on time. Nice heads-up play there for the Nighthawks. Now 2 quick outs here in the top of the second with Riley O'Mahan up to bat.
Number 21, Riley O'Mahan.
O'Mahan, a 196 batting average this year. She's got 22 hits, 21 runs, 6 RBIs. She's still looking for her first home run of the season. And a couple of pitches from Davis outside of the zone makes it a 2-0 count. And the Bearcats coming into this one with a very solid 26-14 record overall. They last played on April 16th as a strike is pitched there from Davis, where they secured the series win against Georgia Southwestern in an 8-0 win at home. So they've had a few more days off to rest than the Nighthawks have, and that one's going to be grounded over to the shortstop Perry. Throw to first on time, and so a quick 3 up, 3 down here for the Nighthawks. Lander still scoreless in this one, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the second. And you're watching North Georgia softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clearmont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Back with you here at the Hill, where Georgia Blair is going to lead things off for the Nighthawks here in the bottom of the second as they try to extend their lead early here in this one. Blair, a .313 batting average. She's got 35 hits, 21 runs, 33 RBIs, and 4 homers as well as she sees a ball there. The count's going to be 1-0.
This Nighthawk lineup from top to bottom can do damage. It doesn't matter 1 through 9. They're all very dangerous hitters.
And a swing and a high fly ball over into left center field. And a great play there from the left fielder, Omahen. As that ball easily could have hit the wall there from Blair. Almost had enough to make it over, but a great play there from Omahen making the catch.
Yeah, it's pretty windy here in Dahlonega, so it's a great job by Omahen to track that and just stay with it as the wind carried it.
And so now Gracie Mixon up to bat for the Nighthawks. Mixon this year has been a stud over on third base for the Nighthawks, but at the plate she's been super successful as well. A .368 batting average. She's got 43 hits, 24 runs, 40 RBIs as well, and she's got 9 home runs as well. She tips this one foul. The count's going to be 1-1. And Bailey, you mentioned this North Georgia squad from top to bottom has been super solid all season long, and what a luxury it is to have Gracie Mixon, rounding out the batting order. She's second in this team for home runs, and so it's definitely a great thing to have if you're Coach Davenport.
Yeah, it's pretty insane that your number 9 hitter is batting .368 and she's second on the team in home runs. Pitchers can't really rest with any of these batters. They have to be sharp throughout the whole lineup.
So the count's now 2-1 for Gracie Mixon. Now it's going to be down the middle from Scott. Count's moving to 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch, that one's driven into left field, fouled. Count staying at 2-2 for Gracie Mixon. And this is just game 1 of our doubleheader against the Bearcats. Game 2 will start 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. 2-2 pitch to Mixon. Now it's driven into center field. Mixon getting a hit here for the Nighthawks. She will round her way for 2, and she will slide in easily there for North Georgia as she's able to get on second after popping that one up into center field. So now North Georgia returns to the top of their batting order with Jolie Lester. And North Georgia's last game offensively, it was the Jolie Lester show. She went 3 for 4 at the plate with 2 RBIs in game 1 and 4 for 5 with 2 more RBIs in game number 2 against Lincoln Memorial. Swinging a high fly ball over into center field, and you can kiss that puppy goodbye. Right on cue, Jolie Lester with a bomb into center field. Here come the Hawks, up 3-0 now on the Bearcats. Wow. What a shot from Jolie Lester over
right
the
on
center
cue,
field wall.
As you said, Jolie Lester, so she hits a home run. Pretty perfect.
And that home run from Jolie Lester is her first of the season as she notches a home run underneath her belt. And now Nighthawks are rolling with Maddie Perry up to bat. And so the Bearcats looking to regroup again here in this one. Nighthawks already have 5 hits in this game, up early, courtesy of Jolie Lester.
Lester again is having a good day. She's scored 2 runs already, reached on both of her bats and gets that home run there.
I was able to have a quick conversation with Lester last week, and I got to say, she is one of the nicest people you will meet, very kind and humble, and she's not only a stud on the softball field, but a great person off the field as well. And that goes for all the student athletes here at North Georgia. Some of the most humble and down-to-earth people you will meet. As Maddie Perry tips this one fouled. Count's going to be 0-1. Perry had a sac fly last time she was at the plate. That one's going to be outside, 1-1. That one's going to be outside from Scott. Now a 2-1 count for Maddie Perry. She does not have a runner on, thanks to Jolie Lester clearing the bases on that 2-run homer. Nice fielding there from the shortstop, Jones, but she's unable to make a play. Perry able to get on first, and that's going to be 6 hits for the Nighthawks early in this game.
Yeah, that was perfectly played by Perry there. Is able to get that in the 5-6 hole. Shortstop does a nice job, like you say, keeping it in the infield, but she can't get up quick enough to get Perry with her speed at first.
So here comes the designated hitter, Sophie Mooney. She, of course, had a hit last time she was at bat. She sees a ball go past her there. Count's going to be 1-0. And we mentioned earlier, Mooney, a transfer out of Georgia State, so she's got some experience at the Division I level. So you combine her experience with the coaching of Coach Davenport as she gets this one down, almost down in right, and it looks like it is going to be down or not. Had me confused there for a second. It all looked almost fair for Sophie Mooney, and that would have been another run up on the board for the Nighthawks as
yeah, it looked like she was able to sink that one just fair, but the umpire got the best view right there behind the first base, so calls that one foul.
Perry was able to make her way all the way home from first, and count's now going to be 2-1 for Sophie Mooney. As we mentioned, you combine her experience at the Division I level with the coaching from Coach Davenport, and the sky really is the limit for the junior Sophie Mooney.
Yeah, she should only continue to get better here at North Georgia.
And she hits this one over into right field, but fouled. Counts moving to 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch as Perry makes a break for it to second, and that one's going to get past the second baseman, makes it its way into center field. But Perry getting the stolen base there for the Nighthawks. And now if Mooney's able to get something down in the outfield, it's almost guaranteed to score Perry, the speedster over there on second.
Yeah, that was Perry's 17th steal of the year, which is 4th best in the Peach Belt.
And the full count pitch to Mooney. That one's driven into right field as well. Fouled over the Nighthawks bullpen. It's going to hit the fence over there behind the hill. Count stays full for Sophie Mooney. Full count pitch. That one's driven over into left field. Mooney keeping the Nighthawks hot here in this one, as Perry's able to score here for North Georgia, and it's now a 4-0 lead early for the Nighthawks, courtesy of Sophie Mooney.
The Nighthawks are doing a great job fouling off pitches they don't like and waiting for their pitch, making Scott work a lot here. Bearcats have someone warming up too in the bullpen, so we'll see how much longer Scott goes.
So now Hannah Forehand up to bat for the Nighthawks, the home run leader on this team. The cleanup position. That one's driven into left field, and here come the Hawks as now runners are going to be on the corners here, and that's 8 hits already in this game for the Nighthawks. And we haven't even made our way to the third inning. With now Olivia Sinkfield up to bat. She was hit by pitch last time she saw the plate, and it looks like, as you mentioned, Bailey, somebody getting warmed up in the bullpen for the Bearcats. They could potentially make a pitching substitution, and they will. So that's going to be the end of the day for Scott. She's allowed 4 runs and 8 hits through 2 innings here in this game.
Yeah, definitely a rough outing for her, and the Bearcats don't want to give the Nighthawks any more momentum here, already down 4 runs in the bottom of the second.
So now in the circle for the Bearcats is going to be number 10, Olivia Veit, with a 5.63 ERA. She's pitched just over 13 innings for the Bearcats this season, the second least on this team. And she has allowed 18 hits, 11 runs. She's struck out 5 batters this season, walked 6, and she's held her opponents to a .321 batting average. And so we'll see what Veit can do here for the Bearcats, now in the circle.
She's coming in a tough spot with runners on first and third. Gonna have to be very careful to not give up any runs.
And she's going to have to face off against Olivia Sinkfield in her first matchup of the afternoon. Sinkfield, now the all-time career leader in stolen bases for North Georgia softball. Another speedster on this team. We'll see what she can do here at the plate for the Nighthawks. And she's got a couple runners on as well. We'll see if she can extend the lead for North Georgia. Veit getting some warm-up pitches in. She looks ready to go here. As we mentioned, Sinkfield hit by pitch last time she was at the plate. We'll see what she can do here with the runners on the corners. And that pitch is going to be in the dirt as Mooney takes advantage of that. And so will Forehand as she stops in her tracks over at third. So heads-up play there from Mooney. Adds another run on the board for North Georgia as they go up early, 5-0 now in this game.
Great job by Forehand, too. She recognized the ball was still away from the catcher, so she's able to take 2 bases there on the pass ball.
And Forehand turning on the burners as well. In a blink of an eye, she was over on third. She was just over at first, and just like that, she's able to round her way for 2 bases. As the count's now 1-1 for Sinkfield. So Veit not off to the greatest of starts here for the Bearcats. 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be grounded over to the down the left field line, fouled. Counts 1-2. Cook almost got a piece of that one, but she Just let it roll foul. And the 1-2 pitch to Sinkfield. She swings and misses on that. And so Veit, nice little rebound there, gets the strikeout on Sinkfield.
It's a big strikeout to keep forehand at third there and get the second out of the inning.
And so now she's going to have to deal with Sydney Blair at the plate. The Peach Belt Conference Freshman of the Week, as Bailey mentioned earlier. She pops this one up. And that one's making its way over the net, fouled onto these stairs here at the Hill. Count's going to be 0-1 for Sydney Blair. She was struck out by Scott last time she saw the plate, so she'll be looking for a different outcome here. Potentially add hit number 9 for the Nighthawks. She tips this one fouled. Count's moving to 0-2 for Sydney Blair. As we mentioned earlier, Blair, one of the leaders in the Peach Belt Conference in batting average. She was first in the Peach Belt for a while, has since slipped to 4th place, but she's still one of the best hitters in the Peach Belt Conference, just a freshman as well. As Bailey mentioned earlier, definitely Peach Belt Conference Freshman of the Year is definitely in play for Sydney Blair.
Yeah, she's got a whole lot of speed, so anything she puts in play, has a chance to reach first.
Comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be grounded over to the third baseman. The throw to first is going to get there on time. So forehand unable to score there. But the Nighthawks blowing this one open early here in this game. It's a 5-0 lead for the Nighthawks. We'll see how the Bearcats respond when we return in the top of the third. You're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Back with you here at the Hill. The Nighthawks with an early 5-0 lead here in this game, and an easy throw from Davis over to first. Getting the first out here on Jones. And so now the Bearcats return to the top of their batting order with Jones. This time, number 31, Say Jones. Kanaya Jones rounding out the batting order for the Bearcats. Jones 0 for 1 today. And she sees a strike right down the middle from Kristen Davis. Count's going to be 0-1. Down's grounded, gets over the head of Davis, and that one's going to roll into center field as the Bearcats notch another hit in this one, their second of the day. As Jones gets a hit on the board here for the Bearcats. And now Gracie Derrick up to bat, also searching for her first hit of the afternoon, 0 for 1 today.
It's a great job by Jones. She uses the turf to her advantage and just chops it hard to get over Davis's head. Bearcats need some runners here to change the momentum in the top of the third inning.
As Davis pitches a ball there, it's going to be a 1-0 count. Davis gets the signal. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That was driven high up into left field. And a routine play there for Jolie Lester. And that's going to keep Jones over on first as well. It's a great play there for the Nighthawks, keeping Jones over there on first as well. And now Behe's up to bat for the Bearcats. She was hit by a pitch last time she saw the plate. Now it's going to be driven over into left center field, and another routine play for the Nighthawks, this time Sydney Blair. So that's going to take us to the bottom of the third. Quick top of the third inning, North Georgia keeping the Bearcats scoreless in this one. We'll see if they can extend their lead even more when we return. You're watching North Georgia softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
Back with you here at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium, where the Nighthawks hold an early 5-0 lead over the Bearcats, and Mariah Wicker is going to lead things off for the Nighthawks here in the bottom of the third. She tips this one fouled. Count's going to be 0-1. I also was able to have a very, very brief conversation with Mariah Wicker last week as well. Also very nice, and she's got a lot of energy as well. Definitely such a great thing to have for this Nighthawks dugout.
Yeah, she's
hyping
got
up her squad.
Great personality, very bubbly and very outgoing. Love when she hits home runs because she's always got a big smile and always dancing back to the dugout.
Absolutely. The Nighthawks with some of the best home run celebrations in the country. But the count's now going to be 1-2 for Mariah Wicker. That one's going to be outside. Count's moving to 2-2. Will we get the double P signs from the home plate ump? And we do. It's a 2-2 count for Mariah Wicker. And the 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be driven past the shortstop. Mariah Wicker getting the 9th hit for the Nighthawks here in this game. She's able to make her way to first. And here comes number 71, Georgia Blair, up to bat for North Georgia. And defensively, here in this game, the Bearcats have really not had an answer for North Georgia in this game.
Yeah, it looked like the shortstop maybe could have made a play on that, but Wicker was able to hit it hard enough where she just wasn't able to do anything. But pitching, too, they haven't had an answer with 9 hits already in the third.
Count's going to be 1-0 for Georgia Blair. Nighthawks first in the Peach Belt Conference with a 22-2 record overall in the Peach Belt. 1-0 pitch to Blair, going to be low. Now 2-0 count. Lander in third with a 15-9 record in the Peach Belt Conference. 26-14 overall, of course, North Georgia. 45-4 overall, playing their 50th game of the season, as they have taken over that second spot in the nation overall. They were in the number 1 spot for a long chunk of the season. They have since slipped to the number 2 spot behind Tampa. But nevertheless, this is still one of the best teams in Division II softball in the nation. No doubt about that. As Georgia Blair sees ball number 4, she's walked to first.
I think this team definitely has the hitting and the pitching to make a very deep run in the postseason. Would love to see them make it to the championship game.
Absolutely. Coach Davenport and his squad's always a threat come the postseason. And this one, no different with that 46-4 record. Now Gracie Mixon up to bat for the Nighthawks. She had a double the last time she saw the plate. We're looking for more of the same here. No outs in the bottom of the third. Runners on first and second for Gracie Mixon. And she sees a ball there. Count's going to be 1-0. You mentioned earlier, great weather here in Dahlonega. 64 degrees, sun is shining. Wind moving from right to left on your screen, as that's going to be a strike there. Count's moving to 1-1. And after some less than ideal weather here in Dahlonega, which has shifted around the schedule for North Georgia, as Nighthawk softball has had to play a lot of games in a short amount of time, it's great to see some nice weather here in Dahlonega, Georgia for this North Georgia.
Yeah, it seemed like it rained for 2-3 weeks straight.
Down's going to be popped up, fouled, as the catcher, Derek, almost made a great sliding catch there on Mixon, which would have given us the first out here in the bottom of the third, but count's moving to 2-2. We mentioned Mixon. It's been a stud over at third base for North Georgia as well. 2-2 pitch. Now it's going to be grounded over into left field. Mixon is going to extend the Nighthawks lead here in this one as the speedster Mariah Wicker rounds her way to home plate. And it's now a 6-0 lead for North Georgia, as the Bearcats are left a little speechless here in this one. And here comes the leadoff batter, Jolie Lester, back up to bat for North Georgia. Runners still on first and second. And she slapped one over the center field wall last time she was at the plate. Her first home run of the season. She sees a ball outside of the zone. It's a 1-0 count for the leadoff batter, Jolie Lester. And the 1-0 pitch. That one's going to be driven into center field, and Lester has got steam coming off of her bat. She's on fire, 3 for 3, scores Blair in the process, and it's a 7-0 lead for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, the Nighthawks have done some great hitting today. The Bearcats really have nothing to do at this point. Everything they're throwing at them, they're hitting.
Absolutely. You really couldn't ask for a better performance offensively for the Nighthawks. Lester 3 for 3 in this game. Mooney 2 for 2, forehand 2 for 2, Mixon 2 for 2 as well. Perry 1 for 1 is also in this game. Mariah Wicker has a hit as well. one of 11 hits for North Georgia early in this game. And the Bearcats are going to talk things over. Coach Davenport as well, going to have a quick convo with his team.
Yeah, the Bearcats have someone else warming up in the bullpen again, but with a 3-game series, you definitely got to be selective with your pitchers, and this game's probably over, but definitely want to give your team a chance in the second and third game if you lose this one.
And the Bearcats with 6 pitchers in their bullpen. They've already gone through 2 today in Taylor and Veit in the circle right now for the Bearcats. So it'll definitely be interesting to follow the pitching story here for the Bearcats. And a bunt there from Perry. She makes her way to first. She's going to be out, but she advances runners to second and third for North Georgia on that sac bunt there from Maddie Perry. So now here comes the dual threat player, Sophie Mooney. After that sac bunt from Maddie Perry, she leads the Peach Bell Conference in sac bunts. That's her 13th of the season. As Mooney finds herself at a 1-0 count against Veit. Now it's going to be driven into right field, fouled over the Nighthawks bullpen as that ball's going to bounce into the road here behind Haynes and Carolyn Hill. Mooney's been favoring that right side of the field in this game. 1-1 pitch, going to be outside. Now 2-1 for Sophie Mooney. And the 2-1 pitch, that one's going to be grounded into shallow left field. The throw from the shortstop to first, going to be there on time, but Mooney scoring another run here for the Nighthawks. And it's now an 8-0 lead. The Nighthawks have blown this game wide open. And now with Hannah Forehand up to bat. Forehand with a chance to go 3 for 3, joining Jolie Lester as well. She's 2 for 2. She shows bunt here, as she typically does, pulls back. That one's going to be low and in the dirt for a ball, 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch to Forehand. Now it's going to be grounded over to the short, and she will make the throw to first, and it's going to get there on time. The Nighthawks adding 3 more runs to their lead. It's now an 8-0 lead for North Georgia as we head to the 4th inning. We'll see if the Bearcats can respond down in this large hole when we return. You're watching North Georgia softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
She has her whole life in front of her and already has a world-class heart team behind her. And so does every generation of her family, thanks to Georgia Heart Institute. Every day, our cardiologists, heart surgeons, and vascular surgeons bring breakthroughs that save and improve lives for generations. So whether you need heart care today or in 2073, we'll be here with the very best for your heart. Georgia Heart Institute.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today,
Back with you here at the Hill. Barbara Cook is going to lead things off for the Bearcats here in the top of the 4th as they have dug themselves quite the hole here in this one, down 8-0 against North Georgia. And that one's going to be tipped and fouled. That one may have gotten a piece of Blair's helmet there, but she gives a thumbs up to the home plate ump and her dugout. She looks to be all right. Cook has got one of the 2 hits for the Bearcats here in this one. Jones has got the other one. Say Jones leads things off for Lander. 0-2 count for Cook. And that pitch from Davis is going to be in the dirt. 1-2 now. And the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. Count staying at 1-2. Davis almost getting the strikeout there. Cook was able to get a piece of that one, though.
Yeah, that was another one of the change-ups from Davis, and Cook, like you said, was able to just get enough of it to stay alive.
1-2 pitch. That one's going to be grounded over to Perry at short. Throw to first. Well on time for the first out here in the top of the 4th. And now Allen stepping back up into the batter's box for the Bearcats. Emily Allen grounded out last time she was at the plate for the Bearcats, so she'll definitely be looking for something different here as the Nighthawks try to get on, or the Bearcats, excuse me, try to get on the board here in this one. Nighthawks have done plenty of that with an early 8-0 lead here in this game. As that pitch from Davis is going to be just outside that bottom left corner of the zone. 1-1 count.
Davis has done a good job staying engaged in these games because these have been long offensive innings. I'm sure her arms get a little cold sitting in the dugout, but she's done a good job coming after batters.
And would not be surprised to see Davis play the whole game here for North Georgia. Davis, one of the best pitchers in the Peach Belt Conference. And the 2-1 pitch. That one's going to be just outside, and Blair is going to have a conversation here with Davis as they try to get back on the same page, with Allen now in a 3-1 count. And the 3-1 pitch, that one's going to be grounded into center field. And Allen puts another hit on the board here for the Bearcats. Puts a runner on first. Now with Coward up to bat. Coward was struck out by Davis last time she was at the plate. The only strikeout for Davis so far this afternoon came against Coward. She pitches a ball there. Count's going to be 1-0. It looks like the Nighthawks going to have a convo here on the mound with their infield, as it looks like North Georgia has a pitcher getting warmed up over there now in the bullpen. I believe that is Delaney Heberlin getting warmed up.
I'm sure they'd love Davis to go complete the game here, but let Heberlin and Tybee didn't pinch the second and third games, but they do say they definitely make a change. They don't want to give up too many hits before the momentum shifts over to the Bearcats.
As you mentioned, it definitely got to be careful here in these 3-game series, especially with double headers like we have today, to try to keep your pitchers limited here in these games, especially if you've got a shortened bullpen. Don't want to go through too many pitchers early. So we'll see if Davis is able to finish out this one for the Nighthawks. And the 1-1 pitch, that one's going to be in the dirt, and that one's going to pop up and hit Blair in the face mask. And that's also going to advance Allen over to second. So the count's now 2-1 for Coward. And the 2-1 pitch, also going to be low in the dirt. And now another 3-1 count for the Bearcats. And the 3-1 pitch, that one's going to be grounded over into right field. And they're waving him home here at the Hill as the Bearcats get their first run on the board here in this game after that RBI from Coward, grounding that one into right field. As we see now a couple of pitchers getting warmed up in the bullpen for North Georgia. Now Antonini up to bat for the Bearcats, as they've added a couple hits here in the top of the fourth and a run on the board as well. Just one out here in the top of the fourth. And that pitch is going to be just outside that top right corner of the zone. 1-1 count for Antonini. And the 1-1 pitch, that one's going to be driven high into left field, and that's going to get down. And the throw to first, not on time. That ball stayed in the air for a minute there. Didn't look like it was going to go too far. Lester unable to make a play over there in shallow left.
Yeah, I think that ball should have been caught. It hung in the air for a long time, like you said. Lester, if she would have charged that ball hard, I think she could have easily made that play. Coach Davenport seemed a little upset in the dugout. He's clapping his hands at his team. Probably wants them to refocus here.
And that wild pitch from Davis is going to be low for a ball, and advanced runners again for North Georgia, for the Bearcats, excuse me. With runners on first and second, or second and third now for the Bearcats. And the 1-0 pitch. Going to be down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Nice rebound pitch there from Davis. Omahen grounded out last time she was at the plate. She pops this one up into left field, fouled near the Bobcats bullpen. Counts 1-2. And Davis getting her second strikeout of the afternoon. Nice pitching there from Kristen Davis. Going to leave runners on second and third. Now with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, that strikeout couldn't come at a better time for Davis. A couple of mishaps here for the Nighthawks, and was able to quiet the Bearcats a little bit with that big strikeout.
And that pitch from Davis is going to be outside. A 1-0 count for Jones. Kanaya Jones up to bat for the Bearcats. Jones had a quick appearance at the plate last time she was there, grounded out, and that one's going to get down over in center field, and a couple more runs are going to get on the board for the Bearcats as they now have 3 runs here at the Hill. Now it's an 8-3 lead for North Georgia. Bearcats with a nice response here in the top of the fourth.
Looks like they're going to make a change. Take Kristen Davis out.
And that is indeed going to be the end of the day for Kristen Davis. She's allowed 3 runs up on the board for the Bearcats, all here in the top of the fourth. 6 hits as well. So now the Nighthawks are going to switch things up here with their pitching. With Delaney Heberlin now in the circle for the Nighthawks. Heberlin with a 1.95 ERA this year. She's allowed 58 hits, 18 runs. She struck out 54 batters, walked 21 of them. She's allowed 6 home runs, allowing her opponents a .214 batting average as Coach Davenport looks to switch things up here in the top of the fourth.
Heberlin is first in the Peach Belt with her earned run average at 1.51. The Nighthawks actually have the top 4 spots in that, which is pretty impressive. For Coach Davenport has a lot of options to choose from.
Absolutely. The Nighthawks have had the #1 ranked pitching in the Peach Belt Conference all season long. As we mentioned earlier, Tybee Denton named the Peach Belt Conference Pitcher of the Week. Denton ranks 2nd in the Peach Belt Conference in ERA, 3rd in opponent batting average, tied for 6th in strikeouts, and tied for 2nd in wins. And she joins Sydney Blair, who also earned a Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week award, or is the Freshman of the Week award. So big congratulations to the two of them. And Heberlin's ready to go here at the Hill, and her first pitch of the afternoon is going to be a ball. Now it's a 1-0 count for Jones, Say Jones. And she bunts here, and Heberlin's throw to first going to be there on time. And so Heberlin comes in, makes quick work of Jones, taking us to the bottom of the fourth, where North Georgia holds a 5-run lead over the Bearcats. We'll see if they can extend their lead even further when we return. You're watching North Georgia softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Back with you here at Haynes and Carolyn Hill. Nighthawks with a 5-run lead over Lander, but the Bearcats starting to build some momentum here in this game, putting up 3 runs there in the top of the fourth. And Olivia Sinkfield up to bat for the Nighthawks, leading things off for North Georgia here in the bottom of the fourth. It's a 1-1 count for Sinkfield. Sinkfield searching for her first hit of the afternoon. She pops this one up into right center field, and that's going to be a routine play for the right fielder, Allen. She makes the grab there. Sinkfield still without a hit here in game number 1.
Number 12.
Here comes Sydney Blair Blair also searching for her first hit in this game as well. She pops this one over the shortstop's head, and Blair gets her first hit of the afternoon right on cue there. It's about time Sydney Blair got the bats warmed up, and she does. She gets one over the shortstop there. Now Mariah Wicker up to bat for the Nighthawks. Wicker with a hit in this one. She's 1 for 2 this afternoon. And she sees a ball outside of the zone, a 1-0 count for Mariah. As we mentioned earlier, this is just game 1 of our doubleheader against the Bearcats. Game 2 will start 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Now it's going to be outside. The series finale is set for tomorrow at noon, and you can catch coverage of all the games right here with us on the Nighthawk Sports Network. As Veit and Derek are going to have a quick conversation here in the circle, try to get back on the same page after 2 straight balls pitched here from Veit.
It's a big series for the Nighthawks who are trying to clinch the Peach Belt regular season title. With 3 wins, they can clinch, or if Columbus State loses, they could also clinch.
Absolutely. And the Nighthawks, they are able to get the series sweep against the Bearcats this weekend. That'll guarantee them locking up first place in the Peach Belt Conference. It's now a 3-0 count for Mariah Wicker. Of course, if they drop a game and Columbus State sweeps Young Harris, then definitely may see some shakeups there in the top of the Peach Belt Conference. Veit gets a nice rebound pitch there. Count's going to be 3-1. But you know, Coach Davenport not looking for any outside factors here in the rankings. He's definitely looking for the series sweep.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be popped up high and over the net. It actually just gets caught. Almost makes its way into the Steiner. Now the count's full for Mariah Wicker. And the full count pitch. That one's going to be driven right to the second baseman. Nice play there. Making the grab is Behe. So that's going to take us to the 5th, where the Nighthawks still with a 5-run lead over the Bearcats. We'll see if the Bearcats can add some more runs on the board in the top of the 5th when we return. You're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
With 6 locations across Northeast Georgia, Howard Brothers Outdoor Power Equipment and Hardware is trusted by both professional landscapers and residential homeowners for all their outdoor equipment needs. To learn more about the family-owned business that keeps Georgia green, visit howardbrothers.com. Bryan Properties is a commercial real estate brokerage firm serving Northeast Georgia. Located in nearby Cumming, Georgia, Bryan Properties specializes in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor. For more information on Bryan Properties, visit bryanproperties.net. The UNG bookstore is operated by Barnes & Noble and is located in the Chastity Building beside Starbucks in downtown Dahlonega. Fans and students can visit in person or online at ung.bncollege.com for all your Nighthawk apparel and textbook needs for the upcoming season.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where it's an 8-3 ball game. Nighthawks on top of the Bearcats. Bearcats starting to build a bit of momentum here in this game. We'll see if they can add some more runs up on the board with Derek at the plate for Lander. Derek searching for her first hit of the afternoon. She sees a strike there from Delaney Heberlin. The count's going to be 0-1. We mentioned before the break, North Georgia in a tight race against Columbus State to secure the number 1 seed heading into the Peach Belt Conference tournament. A swing and a miss there from Derek, 0-2 count. Columbus State 21-3 in conference play. North Georgia 22-2. Those 2 conference losses for the Nighthawks came at the hands of Columbus State here at the Hill. So a series sweep this weekend would lock up the number 1 spot for the Nighthawks. If they drop a game, we could see some potential shakeups at the top as Heberlin gets the strikeout there on Derek. And the Cougars ending their regular season with a series on the road against Young Harris, who sits at 8th in the Peach Belt. But Young Harris does have the worst home record of any team in the Peach Belt Conference this season, sitting at just 5-12 this year. Haven't had the chance to play a ton of home games over there, but they're on a 5-game winning streak. So all around the Peach Belt Conference, every single game becomes so crucial as these teams are playing in their final series of the regular season.
Yeah, the tournament's starting next weekend. I'm sure all these teams would love to pick up some momentum heading into that tournament. Get some wins here to put them in the right place for the tournament.
Now it's going to be grounded from Behe over to forehand. She'll make the throw to first well on time for out number 2. And now Cook is going to be up to bat here for the Bearcats. Cook 1 for 2 today.
Number 29, Barbara Cook.
And that one's going right over to Perry. Nice grab there from the shortstop. Quick 3 up, 3 down here for the Nighthawks, taking us to the bottom of the 5th and the 5th inning stretch. We'll see if the Nighthawks can extend this lead they've built in this one. When we return, you're watching North Georgia Softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here at the Hill, the Nighthawks with a 5-run lead over the Bearcats as Lander makes another pitching substitution here in this one with Barbara Cook now in the circle for the Bearcats. We just saw Cook hitting for the Bearcats, so Cook's gonna have to get cooking here in this game. She's got her work cut out for her, now pitching and batting for the Bearcats. Cook this year with a 2.83 ERA. She's pitched just over 17 innings, allowing 18 hits. She's struck out 12 batters, walked 6 of them, allowed 2 home runs, held her opponents to a 265 batting average as well. And she's facing off against Georgia Blair first. Blair in a 2-0 count. As Cook gets her first strike of the afternoon, 2-1 count for Blair. And the Bearcats have already gone through half of their bullpen here, and we are just in game number 1 of our 3-game series against North Georgia and Lander. So it's definitely going to be an interesting story to follow. See how the Bearcats tackle this pitching situation.
Yeah, they got 2 more warming up in the bullpen now, but that could be for the second game here, following the conclusion of this one.
That one's hit well into left field from Blair, but fouled. Count's going to be full for the junior out of Douglasville, Georgia Blair. And the full count pitch. That one's going to be tipped and fouled, and so Blair still alive here. Count's still full. And the full count pitch. That one's driven high into center field. And that ball is gone. A Blair bomb over the center field wall extends the Nighthawks lead. Solo home run there from Georgia Blair. And it's now a 6-run lead for the Nighthawks here against the Bearcats.
Blair got all of that one. She struck that deep into center field.
There is no doubt about it from Georgia Blair. Slaps that one over the center field wall. And that home run from Georgia Blair is going to be her 5th of the season. Speaking of home runs, Gracie Mixon up to bat for the Nighthawks, rounding out the batting order for North Georgia. She's second on the team in home runs. Not going to get one here. That one's popped up high into right field. Caught for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. But now the Nighthawks return to the top of their batting order with Jolie Lester, who has been perfect offensively in this game for North Georgia. She sees a strike go by her there. Count's going to be 0-1. And in North Georgia's doubleheader against Lincoln Memorial this past week, she went 3 for 4 in Game 1 and 4 for 5 in Game 2. It shows she has been on fire here for North Georgia offensively this week. She's definitely been keeping up the trend here against Lander.
Definitely a good time to get hot here at the end of the season, heading into the postseason.
Definitely catching fire at just the right time for Jolie Lester. Count's going to be 2-1. She gets this one high into left field, and her streak comes to an end there, as that ball is going to be caught from Omahen over there in left field. And so now Maddie Perry back up to bat for the Nighthawks. Perry does have a hit in this game. She's made a couple great plays over there in shortstop for the Nighthawks defensively. And the 1-0 pitch going to be high and outside for a ball, now 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch to Perry. That one's going to be outside as well. Now a 3-0 count for Maddie Perry. Don't expect to see her swing on this next pitch from Cook. And the 3-0 pitch. That one's going to be down the middle for a strike, 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch to Perry. That one's driven into left field, fouled. Count's going to be full for Maddie Perry. And Cook's definitely had her work cut out for her today. Was inserted in the batting order as the cleanup batter for the Bearcats. She's also was over in at third base defensively. Now pitching for Lander. And that one's going to be popped up, fouled by Maddie Perry. Count stays full. So definitely could see some fatigue playing a bit of a factor here in the pitching for the Bearcats. Full count pitch to Perry. That one's also fouled. Count's going to stay full for the junior Maddie Perry. And speaking of fatigue, the Bearcats had a few more days off to rest than the Nighthawks did. Coming into this one, Lander had a doubleheader against Tusculum University this past Wednesday that got canceled. The Nighthawks played their doubleheader against Lincoln Memorial on Wednesday. Another foul ball there from Perry. And Bailey, with some softball history yourself, how important can it be to have those few extra days off in between games to rest and prepare for the next one?
Yeah, definitely in this season you got a lot of knacks, little injuries that if you have like a week off to heal them, it definitely can help. Softball, there's not too much fatigue on the body, but definitely a lot of little injuries that can be helped with a little bit of rest. So I'm sure Lander was very thankful that game got canceled.
And so the count is still full for Maddie Perry, doing a good job battling here with Cook. Perry trying to win this matchup against Cook in a full count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And the full count pitch. That one's going to be outside for ball number 4, and so Perry, great play discipline there, wins the matchup against Cook. She's able to walk to first now with Sophie Mooney up to bat for North Georgia.
Number 20, Sophie Mooney.
Mooney's got a couple hits, couple RBIs in this game as well. 2 for 3 today for the designated hitter. And that pitch from Cook's going to be outside. A 1-0 count for Sophie Mooney. And the 1-0 pitch, swing and a high fly ball over into right field. And that's going to be caught by the right fielder, Allen. Making a great play there. Mooney got a hold of that one. But a great play there from Allen. Makes the grab, taking us to the top of the 6th. North Georgia with a 6-run lead over the Bearcats. We will step aside for just a moment, but you're watching North Georgia softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clermont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Back with you here at the Hill, where the Nighthawks hold a 6-run lead over the Bearcats. And that pitch from Heberlin is going to be right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count for Allen. Allen does have a hit in this game, one of the 6 for the Bearcats. And she tries to bunt here. That's going to be tipped and fouled. 0-2 count for Allen. And that pitch from Heberlin's going to be in the dirt. Counts now 1-2 for Allen. And history will tell you the Nighthawks have been absolutely dominant against the Bearcats. North Georgia softball with a 35-1 record all-time against Lander. And now it's going to be popped up into shallow right field. Routine play there for Mariah Wicker, giving us the first out here in the top of the 6th. And North Georgia has not lost to Lander since the first time these two teams played each other, which was back on March 29th, 2006. But we've seen some teams come into Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium and Bob Stein Stadium for North Georgia baseball as well. Have stolen some wins, even if the Nighthawks have historically been dominant against them. And Bailey, being a women's soccer player here at North Georgia, do historical records really have a big factor into games, or is there more of a new season, new mentality, sort of clean slate going on?
I think it definitely depends on the team. I think sometimes when you're playing a team, like, you kind of just know, like, hey, we need to beat this team. And if you don't, then it's pretty disappointing. But I think for the opposite side, like for Lander, they have no pressure really. So I think just coming in, just, looking for an upset, shock the world a little bit. So definitely can play a part, but at the same time, it just depends on the team.
Number 26, Shannon Antonini.
Absolutely, and there was no pressure for Columbus State, who came in here and stole some wins from North Georgia softball earlier this season.
I definitely was surprised by those 2 results, that was able to get a couple wins from the Nighthawks here, especially at home.
And the 1-0 pitch, that one's going to be tipped and fouled by Antonini. So the count's now 1-1. And North Georgia 28-3 at home this season. 2 of those losses coming at the hands of Columbus State. That one's going to be grounded. Mixon makes the throw to first. Well on time. She's always on top of those plays. Now that's going to take us to the bottom of the 6th. North Georgia still with a big lead over the Bearcats. It is a 9-3 ball game here at the Hill. We'll see if North Georgia can extend their lead when we return. You're watching North Georgia softball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Back with you here at the Hill with Hannah Forehand at the plate for North Georgia, as the heavy hitter is going to lead things off for the Nighthawks here in the bottom of the 6th. Forehand 2 for 3 in this game. She's looking for her 3rd hit of the afternoon. Shows bunt, pulls back. Ball outside of the zone. It's a 2-0 count for Hannah Forehand. Again, shows bunt, pulls back, 2-0 pitch. Outside, now 3-0 for Hannah Forehand. Don't expect to see her swing on this next pitch. And the 3-0 pitch right down the middle. Counts now 3-1 after that strike there from Cook. And that one's driven into right center field. Hannah Forehand with her third hit of the afternoon, and she'll make her way for two. Get there easily. So the heavy hitter strikes again in this game. The double there from Hannah Forehand puts a runner on second for Olivia Sinkfield. We mentioned earlier, North Georgia looking to secure that #1 spot in the Peach Belt Conference heading into the tournament next weekend. Now Madison Cosgrove's going to be pinch running for North Georgia, fills in for Forehand over there at second. So we'll see what the speedster can do here on the bags for North Georgia.
With the Nighthawks being so dominant at the beginning of the season, they were able to get a lot of freshmen in and a lot of different players in to get some experience. I'm sure that's going to be very helpful to Coach Davenport and the rest of his team in the postseason. If the opportunity presents itself, they should be ready.
Absolutely. And you get a lot of veteran leadership from Sinkfield and Forehand and Mixon, Blair, Wicker, just to name a few. But you also, as you mentioned, having some of the freshmen step up on this team as well. Sydney Blair, Jolie Lesser, just a sophomore on this squad as well. And so up and down this Nighthawks roster, they have been absolutely superb this season, as the Bearcats going to have another convo here in the circle as Cook and Derek try to get back on the same page here. We mentioned earlier, North Georgia slipped into the #2 ranking in the country for Division II softball. Tampa has taken over that #1 spot with a 32-2 overall record. The Nighthawks being one of the most well-rounded teams in the nation, this is certainly a team that looks to play late into May and June and make another run at a national championship.
That #1 spot can definitely have a lot of pressure to it. And dropped a couple games back-to-back, which is uncharacteristic, but maybe that can just ease the pressure off heading to postseason and just let them have fun again and just play how they've been playing all year. And like you said, make a deep postseason run.
So that fourth ball from Cook is going to walk Sinkfield to first. And now Sydney Blair up to bat here for North Georgia. Blair had a hit last time she was at the plate. You're looking for more of the same here. And you definitely, as the #1 ranked team in the nation, always have a target on your back. Team's always looking to take down the best team in Division II softball. But for the most part this season, Coach Davenport and his squad have been up to the challenge. They are still one of the best teams in the nation when it comes to Division II softball. Bunt here from Blair. Nice play from the third baseman. It's going to leave runners stranded over there on first and second.
Number 11, Mariah.
Now with Mariah Wicker up to bat for North Georgia. Wicker's 1 for 3 in this game. She'll be looking for the 15th North Georgia hit here in game #1. She sees a strike right down the middle. It's going to be an 0-1 count. Speaking of hits, North Georgia and their doubleheader against Lincoln Memorial earlier this week had 17 hits in game 1 and 18 in game #2. in their sweep over the Rail Splitters, and so they have definitely had zero issues hitting the ball this week. This one, no different. 14 hits against the Bearcats here in game number 1.
Yeah, they're definitely seeing the ball very well, and obviously are able to get some hits and find some green grass.
Wicker swings hard on that one and misses. It's a 1-2 count. And the 1-2 pitch, that one's popped up high, and that one's soaring over the net, fouled. Goes over the Bearcats dugout. Count still 1-2 for Mariah Wicker. And the 1-2 pitch, that one's going to be tipped. Stay fair. And a great play there from Mariah Wicker as that ball rolled for a second, halted to a stop, stayed fair, and loads the bases now for North Georgia and Georgia Blair.
Yeah, Wicker showing off her speed there. She mishit that, but was able to still beat it out just by how quick she is.
And here comes Georgia Blair up to bat for the Nighthawks. She hit a bomb over the center field wall last time she saw the plate. She's got bases loaded now with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. And a grand slam from Georgia Blair would seal this game. And the 0-1 pitch, going to be outside. Now 1-1 for Georgia Blair. It's a big matchup here. Cook against Blair. Of course, can't afford another walk with the bases loaded. That one's going to be outside, 2-1. Of course, you know Blair more than capable of sending one out of here. We just saw that about 20 minutes ago from Georgia Blair. And so, big matchup here for Cook. And the 2-1 pitch, that one's driven into center field, and it's going to get down as Coach Davenport waves home Cosgrove. So now it's a 7-run lead here for North Georgia. Now runners going to be on the corners here for Gracie Mixon up to bat for the Nighthawks. Mixon's 2 for 3 in this game. Got an RBI as well. So she's able to get something down in the outfield. Could seal the deal here for the Nighthawks here in game number 1. And the steal there from Blair, over to second. Showing off some wheels there. Now makes things a bit easier for Gracie Mixon with runners on second and third.
The Bearcats are going to be very careful here with Sinkfeld at third. She can't touch home where this game's going to be over for them.
And the 1-0 pitch to Mixon. That one's going to be low and outside for a ball, 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch to Mixon. That one's going to be popped up and over the Nighthawks bullpen. That one's going to bounce and hit the fence behind Haynes and Carolyn Hill. 2-1 count for Gracie Mixon. And the 2-1 pitch. That one's going to be outside as well. So now it's a 3-1 count for Gracie Mixon. That first base now open for her after the steal from Georgia Blair. And the 3-1 pitch. Outside for ball number 4. And so, again, bases are loaded for the Nighthawks. And they return to the top of their batting order with Jolie Lester. So definitely dangerous territory here for the for the Bearcats. With their leadoff hitter for North Georgia stepping back into the batter's box. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the 6th. Lester's got 3 or more hits in 3 straight games. It's been a terrific offensive outing from the sophomore out of Fayetteville, Georgia. And right on cue, she gets one down in center field, and that seals the deal here in game number 1. Nighthawks with an 11-3 win over the Bearcats here in game number 1. Bailey, any final thoughts on this one?
It's a great performance from the hitters. 16 hits on the day. Jolie Lester, like you said, right on cue, had a great day and was able to walk this one off. Great win for the Nighthawks, and heading into game 2, definitely some momentum.
And that's going to do it for us here in game 1 of our doubleheader. Your final score, 11-3. Nighthawks take game 1 of the series and look to carry some of that momentum into game 2 with a chance at their last series win of the regular season. Make sure to stick around as game 2 of our doubleheader against the Bearcats is just around the corner. A big thanks to the Nighthawk Sports Network crew working behind the scenes to make this one possible. On behalf of Bailey Vestal and the rest of the NSN team, this is Robert DiClemente saying thanks so much for watching. Again, your final score from Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium, 11-3, Nighthawks on top. We'll be back in 30 minutes for coverage of game number 2 between North Georgia and Lander University. Until then, have a great afternoon, everyone, and we will see you real soon.